Hello everyone. This is the first lecture of economic statistics. So as any introductory statistics course, uh, like we are going to start with the probability. So the first chapter is about the probability, and the probability is the probability you know. So what we are going to do here is I will uh, I will make a formal definition of the probability, and I will set up the structure how we can understand the probability, because this is the most fundamental basics for statistics. So it is important to set the structure we have in mind so that we can understand more complicated data using the same structure. So let me start. So let me overview all the chapters in this course. There are 12 chapters in this course, and the first four chapters are about descriptive statistics, how to describe randomness, how to describe data, and how to characterize and how to summarize data. So that's chapter 1 through 4, and the probability, is the most basic and simplest possible description of the randomness. And then we will make them more complicated. In chapters from 5 to 7, we will study some models. So distribution models are it's a set of assumptions. So not only describing the data, but we make assumptions and we set up a model for data and randomness, and then we study their properties, how we can utilize them, and how we can calculate probabilities, blah blah blah. So the first two parts, descriptive statistics and distribution models, are more uh, theoretical. It's not practical, but from chapter 8, we we learn more practical statistical tools. So from chapter 8 to 10, we learn inferential statistics. It is about statistical inference. So you'd like to estimate something from the data, or you'd like to test your belief and things like that. So chapter 8, 9, 10 are the actually the main chapters of this course, main chapters of any introductory statistics course. And the last two chapters are about linear regression models. So the linear regression model is the most important model in statistics and any statistics used in social sciences. So the goal, and to understand the linear regression model, you need all the tools we learned from chapter 1 to 10. So uh, uh, like our goal of this the goal of this course is to learn linear regressions, because later, if you take other applied courses like, say, labor economics or like industrial organizations, environmental economics, macroeconomics, if you take other economics courses, I believe that they assume that you understand the basic mechanisms of the linear regression model. So, uh, in from this course, you have to understand how it works and how you interpret the regression model and its results. So that is the ultimate goal of this course. And to do that, we will take steps to reach there. So we are starting from the very basic probability. So the first two chapters are about probability. So it's simple. It should be. You may think it's too easy. Yes, it's easy, but it will get much more difficult sooner than later. So um, so don't don't be disappointed. It's going to be difficult enough soon, so don't worry too much. And the second part of descriptive statistics is about the average, which is also what you know. So we are going to learn average and probability in the first part of this course. So as you see, it's basics, fundamental things. Okay, let's see. Um, Relevant chapters. In the introductory video, in the previous video, I told you that I'm using 4 textbooks. It doesn't matter what you use, but just in case if you use one of them, you can read those chapters. But it's not exactly the same. I'm just making my own materials, like more selective from different sources. So it's not perfect match, but just in case if you are curious, you may read those chapters. Okay, this is what we are going to do in this chapter. First, we will define the structure of probability. When we talk about the probability, what do we have to specify? What do we have to define? And then they are experiment, outcome, and sample space. These are the terms we have to define in order to define the probability. And then we will connect data to probability. So the reason why we are studying the probability and the structure of the probability is to better understand data. So data are generated from some kind of probability setup. So we are going to relate probability structure to data. And then we will make them more complicated to multivariable case. So when you have more than one variable, how can we study them? That's the last 2 parts of this chapter. Okay, as I said, it's easy. You may think it's too obvious. Yes, it is. But as I said, don't be disappointed too much. Doesn't take too long. Okay, let's think about the probability, structure of the probability. So, this is the probability that you say sometimes. And so when you talk about a probability, your sentence looks like this. When you toss a coin, the probability of a head is 50%. So it has a certain structure. So if I say the probability is 50%, then it does not deliver any meaning because I did not specify some important aspects of the probability. First, so this is obvious, 50% is what you wanted to say. This is the probability. 50% is the probability. But when you say something is 50%, it is a probability, but whose probability? And probability of what? You have to define that. So the first element is the experiment. So this probability is generated from this experiment, tossing a coin. So coin toss is how the probability is generated. You have to define that experiment, right? And also, so when you toss a coin, probability of something is 50%. You also have to define what you are interested in. So you are interested in the probability of having a head. So it is the event of interest where the probability is attached. So the probability is assigned to this event, right? So this is the simplest possible example, right? And simplest possible case, and it contains almost every element of probability, right? If you drop one of them, then it's not a perfect sentence to to say something about the probability from in this case. So we will, based on that example, we will define in more general case experiment, outcome, and sample space. It's been 10 minutes. So I will pause here. I'm going to finish this video here and continue directly from this point in the next one. So you can continue. See you in the next video. See you.